Alright, what an opening there. This is our Patreon game today. It's Aerobiz Supersonic. You know, just when you think you know the Super Nintendo catalog inside out, you get thrown a curveball. This is a game I have never heard of. Although, after I loaded up, I realized I had seen it before. I'd seen Baron play this before, but that's probably not going to help me figure anything out with it. Nonetheless, we're going to give this a shake for a couple of hours before we slide back into some more Christmas tinners in Rise of Industry, so I think there's going to be quite a bit of overlap between the games here. Let's get going with a new game, and we get to choose our scenario. We might as well start it right from the very start, the dawn of the jet age. I've certainly taken plenty of flights in my life, but I'm not familiar with how it all works. I just get in the plane and end up in my destination. Maybe this will be an eye-opener for me. Skill level, well, level 1 for me, because I don't know a damn thing here. Normally I'm begrudged to go in easiest mode, but for something like this, definitely going to need to fill it out, and it's just me playing on my lonesome. So we're going to start up choosing our region, and I think we're going to go same way that we're going with Rise of Industry, since we're playing both today, and go to France. Unfortunately, the text scrolls super slow unless you speed it up, and if you speed it up, the text goes away as soon as it finishes, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. We'll start out in Paris. Is Paris okay? I suppose it is. These, I believe, are my competitors, so from a glance there, 2 of them set up in the States and 1 of them set up in London. Oh, well, damn right there. UK Air is in London, Air Tex in Dallas, Air Mex in Mexico. That makes things easy. I don't like the name L'Air, though. If anything, it should be L'air, but I don't like that either. So let us change our name. Change which oh, I can change the competition's name. Oh, well, I'll be taking brutal advantage of that. We might as well be called Tinner. Doesn't look like we have a lot of letters to play with, but we'll go with that. Where's my E at? What an odd way of setting out your alphabet. Oh, I get it. This is straight up copying the Japanese one, since you've got the 5 of them. So it'd be A, U, E, O, etc, etc. Looks a pretty Japanesey game, and of course it is made by Koei as well. Oh wait, we've got an extra letter here. We'll call ourselves Tinners. Wouldn't want to limit ourselves to just one. And I'll keep all those names, they're nice and easy to remember. I'm not so fond of the colour red for us though. Wow! I mean, that is the kind of thing that blows me away in an old game like this, actually having RGB settings for how you look here. Great. Can I make it completely white then? It's probably going to hide the name Tinners if I do that. Yeah, that is not going to be any good. We'll just go full on black then. Yeah, this is pretty advanced customization. You know, Stellaris came out without this level of customization. Was one of my big boo-boos with the game, is the color selector tool that you get in Stellaris was pathetic. It had a very small amount of preset colors. There we go. We'll go full on black. Black like a charred Christmas pudding. And as we know, the pudding is at the bottom of the tinner. Right, there we go. Tinners are us. Let's go. Is everything in order? Looks like it. White, the colour of the French flag. So it looks like Air Mex is on the go. They purchased some stuff. It's all going pretty fast. UK is in negotiations with Cairo, Rome, Athens, and they purchased a hotel in London. Okay, it's all going on here. Air Tex, negotiations, and hotels. Is this a hint of what I should be doing? Congratulations on your promotion to CEO. Who the hell are you? Our goal is to expand operations in every region and gain the #1 market share in 4 regions within 20 years. Careful, if you continue with losses, you'll go bankrupt. Go get 'em. I'm not so sure we will be the top dog, but it doesn't look like there's any pressure to get this going on very swiftly. So what do I want to do? Well, what do I know about flying airlines? The high profit ones tend to be the ones that go very far, like, say, London to New York or San Francisco. And short hops tend to be pretty crummy, which is why you never seem to get a flight the way you want it. I just want to go Stockholm, to somewhere in Scotland. Why do you have to take me to the Netherlands first every damn time? So, let's see if we can't do something like that. I believe this is a new route. So our new route will depart from Paris, and our destination will be... Oh. Doesn't look like I can go elsewhere. No, I can go elsewhere. Pressing L and R takes us to different places. This is theme of Europe. Theme of Africa. Middle Eastern music. Oh my goodness, could we actually go Paris to Tokyo? I'm not sure if there are planes that are able to do that in 1955. We'll see if we can't do Paris to the States, though. A nice one over to New York, perhaps? That's a huge cost to do. But these kinds of things pay for themselves, surely. Yeah, let's go to New York. We don't have any slots in New York. You need to negotiate with New York for slots. The new route will depart from Paris. Choose a well, can I go to Philly then? Negotiate. Huh. So, do we negotiate first? I call this meeting to order. First, let's open up a new route. We can't be an airline without routes. To open up new routes, we need funds for planes and slots. Slots can be gained from negotiating with the city. Order aircraft, but I think I start with aircraft. After paying startup costs, we need to quickly enter into negotiations with the city all over the world. No time to waste. Okay, so this is where my advisors give me, well, advice. Shall I conduct the meeting? Nah, we're good. We know everything we need to know now. Or perhaps not. Can I get out of here? Okay, hopefully that didn't use up any sorts of turns or the like, but how do I enter into negotiations then? Are these negotiations? Bid for slots, excellent. Now who will do it? I don't know. This guy looks like he means business, so on you go. Then again, he looks kind of Russian, so he might not be very welcome in the United States at this time. But I want you to try and get me a slot in New York. Let's get ourselves over to the Big Apple. Surely we wouldn't need more than one slot. Negotiations should take 6 months. I will begin negotiations. Okay, you do that. Yikes, that's a scary one. Okay, could you go and do some negotiations for me as well? Perhaps we'd want to go to... Oh, I wouldn't mind going to Miami. Head over to Florida for a nice vacation. How many slots? It's currently 1955 Death Shed. Cold War is not my expertise. Get ourselves a slot in Miami. Get on it. Okay, so now I've sent off 2 of my agents for 6 months. And I don't have much to show for it. Where do I have slots then? Do the numbers on the map show the amount of slots you have? Why would I have 12 slots in central Germany? Okay, where do we want to go? Could I go over to, say, Moscow then? We don't have any slots. Where the heck do I get slots then? Alright, how about Athens? I don't really want to do Athens because I heard the UK set up a trip to Athens. But they would be doing it from London. I'll be doing it from Paris. Surely people would rather go to Paris than London. I've never been to Paris, but I have been to London. Frankly, I would take my chances with Paris given that. What type of plane will you use on the route? We have a Viscount, and we have a DC-6. I'm not going to claim to know anything about planes, but let's see if we can infer things from the information here. It looks like the DC-6 can travel 4,000 miles and has 80 seats. I'm guessing the spanner is reliability, so they're about the same. The fuel thing, maybe it's efficiency, maybe it's cost, maybe it's capacity, I don't know. The stars are probably how luxurious it is. And the little silo thing is probably how many of those that I have. So if I just send my wee discount viscount over there, should be fine, since it's not a very long distance to go. How many planes will be used on this route? Oh, I don't know. That's cute. They go in and out of the silo there. So maybe I want to send 3 of my best viscounts over there. Looks like it'll fit plenty of people. How many flights per week? Oh, I don't know. Seems like 1 is my only option. Maybe because I only have 1 slot. How much is the average fare? Well, come on, we got a nickel and dime our people, so 10% above the average. Gorgeous. Now this game was released on multiple platforms. I was just tasked with... Actually, I was tasked with playing this on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which I accepted without question. I shouldn't have done that though, because this game didn't come out on the NES, so I picked the closest thing, which is the Super Nintendo. Okay, glorious, that's a nice little bit of back and forth, but now I see there's a 9 over in Finland, so also I've noticed there's no Åland on the map, and that the entire Baltic is misshapen beyond belief. But that's okay, let's still fly on over there. Let's do Paris to Helsinki. And send our other 2 small ones there. How many planes? I just send a couple of them over there. How many flights per week? Oh, I could do a bunch of them per week. How many people could reasonably want to go to Helsinki, though? I can't imagine it's very many. Still, let's try doubling the amount of flights in a week. And we'll charge a little bit above the extra. Well, Finns have money, don't they? Come on, pay me extra. Wait, I thought we already decided I was going to use the Viscount. The new route... Wait, did I not set up that route? How strange. Let's try that again. I wonder what I did wrong. We're using the Viscount. We will use 2 Viscounts, and we'll have 2 flights per week. How much is the fare? 10% above. Shall we go ahead with... Oh, I probably hit no instead of yes. The one that's covered in red is the one that you're affirming. Wouldn't get away with that in a modern UI. I remember at Paradox discussing with one of the artists about Dungeon Keeper, and he was really rather adamant that you would never get away with that to UX in a modern day, because in Dungeon Keeper everything red is everything on your side. And these days, if it's red, it's bad in a video game. Okay, is there truly nowhere else that I have slots available? I can't imagine this is a particularly good time to be flying to the Middle East. Yeah, almost certainly not. I wonder if I could get myself over to Japan, though. If I were to set up a... We don't have a regional hub there. What, and you're telling me I do have one in the States? Oh dear. How do I set up a regional hub, then? We can't open a regional hub in North America. We don't have any flights going there yet. But I can't set up flights because I don't have a regional hub there. You've got me confused, game. What's this thing? Probably just telling me information on things that I've set up here. This is totally a game that you want to read the manual for. And what's this? Oh, it's just a lovely look on the map. Oh, I think that might be end turn. Seattle is currently the hotspot for tourists. Well, hell yes, look at that. Quarterly report is in. Made a fat stack of cash heading over to those cities, although I don't know why it says 3 cities. Maybe it includes Paris. these other guys have been spending loads of money, but that probably means they've been investing, much like I should. Not bad. Well, I assume it's not bad. Hard to tell. Okay, we've seen this before, game. Where do we go from here? Next year, the Olympics will be held in Melbourne. Ooh. Probably going to be a lot of people that want to go to Melbourne then. We'll see if we can set that up. But I probably need to speak with Melbourne about that. Hey, we're #1 in Europe, and we only need to be #1 in 4 places to win. Okay, so these flights seem to be going happily along. Melbourne, let me in. We don't have a regional hub there. And we can't open a regional hub because we don't have any flights. I still don't understand that. Send bid for slots. Looks like time passes 3 monthly. I'm going to assume that. Okay, we'll have you then. Go and talk to those Aussies. Did they say where exactly it was going to be, or if it was just in Australia? Sydney, Melbourne. Ooh, I don't know now. They said Melbourne. Ah, okay. How many slots? Just a single slot will surely be fine. Negotiations should take 9 months. We don't have 9 months. Well, get to it anyway. Not sure I like dealing with these criminals, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I still think I should try my hand at getting into Japan. Then again, I'm not going to have the planes to get over there if I get to the Big Apple, Melbourne. Now, come to think of it, I'll be short on planes in general. Doesn't matter. Get the slots and then we'll be okay. Get us over to Tokyo. How many slots? Surely just the one is fine. Why would you need more than one? There we go, and I'll keep you around because I never know when I need one person to take care of something. Okay, groovy. I wonder if I'm just wasting away not having my planes operational right now. But I can't imagine many of these other routes would be that profitable. Tell you what though, we'll just set up a cheeky little one over to Stockholm. I'm not sure who wants to be going into Stockholm, but some people might want to be getting out of there. A single plane. How many flights? Just the one will do. Maybe I'm starting to see why I can't get many flights out of Stockholm. It's a pain to set up. No Protozomac, I'm not feeling like going to Korea at this time. Alright, so surely that'll be fine. We pass our time and hopefully get these slots so we can set up some other airways. Wonder what's making people go to Seattle so much. Oh, see, I don't like that. UK Air is suddenly making... is that $7 billion? Where are they getting all that dosh from? Well, thinking about it, they set up to Athens, didn't they? Don't know how they're doing to make all that money. Tensions between countries in the Arabian Peninsula are increasing. Max East, that's a bit fast for me, game, I can't keep up. We're still apparently #1 in Europe, but for some reason the UK is making loads of money. We acquired the rights to 1 slot in New York and 1 slot in Miami. Alright, this is where I turn around and make the big bucks. Let's go. New route will go from Paddy to... No. Over here. Onwards to New York. What type of plane are we going to use? The DC-6, of course. How many planes will be used? Just the one, because I don't have a lot of them. How many flights? Just the one. And how much is the fare? Expensive. Now get to it. Yeah, they look like flying penguins or whales. It's pretty cool. Okay, sweet. That's good and all, but we need more. And I'm probably going to get those other negotiations done, so I need to go and... Paris is the regional hub. All flights must depart from here. Very cool. Now let's not go to Brazil, and instead head over to glorious Miami. There's already a route linking us with this region. What? But I want to go to Miami. Inter-regional flights can't stop in minor cities. Well, that's unfortunate. That means I wouldn't be able to go to Melbourne. That might put a bit of a wrench in things. Yeah, you make a good point. Perhaps I could set up a new route in North America. We don't have a regional... Okay, maybe I need to somehow turn New York into a regional hub, but I don't know how to do that. Do you do that? Who will you send to check out business possibilities? That sounds about right. We'll send Lennon again. Which city will I bid for business thing? Go and turn New York into a regional hub. Which business will venture? A pavilion. An extremely expensive hotel. Which would cost... How much is that actually? 200. About 10% of our money. Catering services, agency, shuttle service. This is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a regional hub. That said, though, setting up my own grand hotel in New York sounds pretty good, so let's do exactly that. You must negotiate with the city to purchase Grand Hotel. Take 3 months. Yeah, get on it. Why not? I don't know how to make it a hub there, Arthur, but I'm looking into it. I thought it might be considered a business possibility. What about this dollary sign thing here? Change which, but ooh, I can change my... I can not pay anything for repairs. We pay 10 times on advertising than we do for repairs. Scary stuff. Who will you send to negotiate for a regional hub? There we go. Send glasses, lasses. Shall we open a regional hub in New York? Yes, we shall. I'll get right on it. It'll probably turn red when it becomes a regional hub. Do we dare to go to Brazil? Well, whether we dare or not, we do not have anybody to go and negotiate there. Alright, I've still got a spare plane, but I'll put it to use in due time. It's probably for the better that I didn't have this game as a kid. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like the lot of fun that I could sink a lot of time into back then. Are you playing with keyboard, with controller, or can you mouse and keyboard this? I'm playing with controller, and not many Super Nintendo games were compatible with the Super Mouse, and I doubt this was one of them. Okay, I'm making some actual money here, but UK Air is running circles around me. In fact, everyone other than Air Max is. I have no idea how UK Air is making so much dosh. They're getting more passengers than me, considerably more in fact. What does it all mean? UK opened a new route between themselves and Cairo, and Athens again. And London and Vienna. Oh my god, they're getting everywhere, and they're ordering up more planes. They'll be flying circles around me. But hey, we're still apparently #1 in Europe, God knows how. Regional hub was opened in New York. Let's use it as a springboard to develop routes within North America. Swell. That sounds good. Now let's get on it. Always have to stop by South America on our way to North America. What a blow. Okay, so if I set up a new route... What? All the slots in New York are in use. Oh... So I can't do another flight from New York to somewhere else because I only bid for one slot. And that slot is being used up in linking it up with Paris. I understand. Well, it looks like we have to go back for the negotiations. I think not understanding why the UK is running circles around you is a pretty fair simulation of the feeling of the French at the time. Alright, Lenin, we need you now more than ever. I need more slots in my hub. Only seems to cost time. I'm not noticing any cost for doing this. Couldn't I just buy up all the slots here then? There you go. Go and get them all. Good speaker, that Lennon. Now I'm told things are booming over in Seattle, but Seattle's already got some connections. I wonder if it hurts to do that. Vancouver! Oh no. Okay, right, let's do the Great Escape for them. We'll let them go to Vancouver. Population 0.3 million. No, I don't think we want to go to Vancouver. Seattle's only got 0.4 million though. Alright, I will offer the people of San Francisco an opportunity to escape. And again, the population there is quite low as well. Create routes between Paris and Africa for the roleplay. I think not. Economy 37, but I'm told that it's Seattle that's booming. Connect French Canada to the motherland. No. What do we have? There's Chicago. There's Toronto. There's no Quebec. Whatever. Let's get in touch with our Vancouver side. Why would you not get maximum slots then? Do you pay per slot? Because these negotiations don't seem to be costing me anything. Oh well, we'll get one more going there. Nah, you see, Pandy. Different times here. Okay, certainly made some boo-boos here then, especially with only grabbing one slot in these other places. But I should be able to make some reasonable money flying straight over to Japan. Well, one can hope at least. I need some more planes, probably. Let's see if we can't bid for some. Who would we like to get us some planes? MDC, Lockheed, World Lease, Vickers. Give me some Vickers. Nice to meet you. Which model are you interested in? These Viscounts are pretty short-range affairs, aren't they? Price 16 million. I could have a few of these. You need to order a maximum of 10. Well, then I'll just grab 5 cheeky ones. Doesn't take too long to make either, which is quite nice. Oh, Vickers, do you offer me any other types? I'm looking for some larger ones that can go a bit further than that. She asks me which model I want and offers me one model. It's like that skit about the cheese shop. Okay. Not really. Oh, I could always get myself some Balkan ones. The IL-14. Not really sure that's what I'm looking for. Does anybody sell me something that can go a fair distance? Aha! Distance of 4,700 miles. 90 seats. The Super Constellation. We're proud of this baby. I strongly recommend it. Yeah, go on then. Give me 5 of those bad boys. I said 5 of those, please. I strongly recommend it. I have one like this at home myself. Okay, great, we got it. I think. We'll have it next quarter. So we've ordered up some planes. We're still negotiating on some routes. I probably... I'm only getting 1 slot there and 1 slot here, so I'll probably have to negotiate for these once those are done. Well, so be it. In this era, British still meant quality engineering. Nice pick. I don't know who does good quality engineering now. Passenger totals for Europe. Oh god, no. UK Air somehow got tons of passengers. Maybe it's going to Cairo. They did set up a Cairo one, but look at that. Tinners have caught up with UK Air. Despite having far fewer passengers. Must be the transatlantic stuff. Or maybe it's my grand hotel, who's to say? Well, I'm not to say, because I have no idea. Tunisia declared independence from France. Get yourself together. Wait, I'm France. Oh no. We need to bring them back in by plane. Air Mex started flying into North America. Good for them. We acquired the rights to 1 slot in Tokyo and 1 slot in Melbourne. Both of those mistakes. Somebody was calling me out and calling these things silos. I think it was an engine. What would you call them? Airplane... hangars. Hangars is the word I need. I can English. It's just a sideways silo. Okay. Might be a bit of a mess, but it's my mess. So we've learnt that although we got rights in Melbourne, we need to set ourselves up to go to not Melbourne. But since I have 1 slot in Melbourne, that's okay, because I can get multi-slots over in Perth or the other one. So we'll do exactly that. Lennon's busy at work, so we'll send you. You seem more in tune with the Aussies. Get ourselves over to Sydney. How many slots? I mean, why would you not take them all? I don't understand. Probably going to be hard to go there for negotiations when you can't fly there. Right. I certainly want to get more slots. I want to send Lennon over there, but he's busy elsewhere. Get us some more New York slots, please. We already have someone negotiating. Was that to turn it into a hub? I thought we did turn it into a hub. Well, there's no escaping it. We're going to Brazil. I want every slot there is in Brazil, please. Okay, is there anything else that I could, would, or should be opening up at this point? Yeah, all slots are in use, so that's out of the question. I got my planes. I could set up more here in Europe. These short-haul ones are probably going to be a bit rubbish for us, though. Nonetheless, if I have the planes, I should be doing something with them. So let's make our way down to Nice. Shouldn't really need anything fancy, so we'll just put out our L1s. Wait, where's our Vickers at? Oh, the L1 is the Vicker, isn't it? No, the L1's the long-range one. Well, now I'm confusing myself. Was the Viscount the Vickers one? Probably, because I have 5 of them. Yeah, yes it is. Jake, are you alright? I'm doing fine, Nix. How many do we want going to Nice? Surely one is plenty. Let's go there twice a week. And of course charge extra for it. Cute as this is, it's unskippable, so you get to see that every time you open up a route. While we're at it, might as well go into Germany as well. Munich, but not the DDR. That's wonderful. Ah, I'd like to go to Berlin, but no slots there. Okay, let's head over to Munich. And again, more of our Vicar Viscounts. Now I have no idea what the right ratio to do for flights per week or number of planes to use. Munich Airport, but not Hamburg? Scandalous. By the way, how's that new airport coming along, Worm? Don't all Germans love to talk about that? Dare we go to Africa? I think we dare not. Maybe India would be an alright place to go, but everybody's hard at work, so we'll leave them be. It's done now, so it got boring to talk about it. Didn't anybody get utterly lambasted for all the supposed scandals associated with it? Probably not. Many people did, yeah, but consequences, actual consequences. Okay, so UK is going for Munich, they're going for the Iberians, Algiers. The UK is getting their fingers in a lot of pies here. The airport expansion project in Dallas has been completed. There are now 24 more slots. So Dallas has been a real up-and-comer. UK is still getting twice as many passengers as us. And 5 times as many in Europe. That's some scary stuff. But despite getting all those passengers, I'm the one making considerably more, well, not more money, but certainly more money per passenger. I put it all down to that luxury hotel. Well, I'm burning through a lot of my money, and I'm sure not clawing it back. There we go, now we've got our actual slots in New York, and we've got one in Vancouver. Someone from McDonald. I'm here to offer you the deal of a lifetime from McDonald. This quarter only, we're offering all of our planes at half price. That is a steal of a deal. But I just bought a load of planes. Surely it's a scam, so let's not engage in it. What we will engage in is getting ourselves a new route so we set up in North America here. So finally I can do Miami. And I should just need some lovely wee Viscount Vickers here. I can use a lot of planes on it, but I only have one slot there. So can you use multi-planes on one slot? I guess slot is just per route, and you can throw as many planes at the route as you want. Throw a couple... Oh, I can only do one flight per week. Oh well, on you go then. And of course we're overcharging people. The Olympics in Tokyo for 1694. Well, from what I saw about the game, it does follow historical events accurately, and there won't be any deviation from it. Great. Now I want that Vancouver one done as well. Perhaps I pay upkeep for the slots that I get. Maybe that's the downside to taking too many of them. What are we going to use? I'll use my last DC-6 on this. Meaning I only have one plane to throw at Vancouver. And of course we overcharge those Canadians. It's hard to know the right prices to charge. I'm sure the game has feedback on it, but I'm also sure I don't know where it is. Soon, Brazil. Very soon. Now, where else can we dip our fingers into? Did I not get Japan yet? Could negotiate and go my way over to India. We'll get ahead of the game. There'll be a superpower in 70 years. Oh no, I don't want to waste Lenin on this. Well, actually, maybe he'll really hit it off in New Delhi. There's a gorillion people there. Get ourselves, I don't know, 3 slots? Which means I would probably want another slot to connect it to whilst we're there. Get you a little extra one to Bombay. Come to think of it, I do want some extra small planes, don't I? Because I managed to burn through all my Vickers. So, who was it that said they were offering half price? MDC is probably the McDonald's. Which model are you interested in? Your wee ones. Oh, they're only selling big ones. It's a shame. Also, look at that year of production, 1947. This is definitely a clearance sale. I know bad news when I see it. Let's go clawing our way back to Vickers. Vickers, we need more planes. More viscounts, please. Gotta support local businesses. You need more planes to not use? That's right, Nix. Gotta think ahead of the game. Okay. But I still need to do some negotiating, don't I? I think I'm only negotiating... Oh no, I've got my one in... I've got my one in Japan. Right, well, let's get flying over to Japan as soon as we can. Oh, damn. How far is that, then? I need a plane that can manage such a journey. The journey to Tokyo is 6,060 miles, so does anybody offer me the kind of plane that I need to do that? Well, MDC certainly didn't. You do not. How about the world lease buyers? Hang on, maybe I've not been scrolling through these correctly. I only just noticed that it's up and down to scroll through them. Does that mean McDonald has more for me? No, they don't. And Y2K. People were losing their minds about it, and then it came along and nothing happened. The big nothing. Not the first and won't be the last. Okay, so I wonder at what point I'm going to get a plane that's able to make that kind of distance. It's okay though, because I'm negotiating for New Delhi, and New Delhi will be able to take us over to... take us over to Japan. So no need to worry about that for now. Although I still have somebody free, so perhaps I should negotiate for something else. For example, from Japan, they might want to go over to China. Sounds believable. That's right, I'm getting ahead of the game. Sooner or later, everyone's gonna want to be going to China rather. Beijing, Hong Kong. Oh, British Hong Kong. Right, support local businesses. Give me... well, I should only need one Hong Kong slot. But what if Hong Kong wants to go to China as well? We'll be ready for them. Alright, great. Well, maybe not great, but we're pushing forward, so let's go. Travel there will increase significantly. I didn't set up my stuff down there yet, did I? London's been expanded. 22 more slots in London. That's a ton. I get 3,000, he gets 17,000 passengers. I'm getting blasted apart in every region I exist in. And yet, when it comes to the quarterly reports, my money is... well, it's competitive. Painful stuff. Don't do it. Don't do San Francisco. We don't need those people. Right, I got my Viscounts ordered. That means all those flights that I'm not setting up, we can get done. Okay, fit new. We haven't got ourselves into Brazil just yet, but we do have... well, we've already got these set up. I don't think there's any reason to worry more about this. I've got my one slot there that I can't put to use yet, but we will. I don't have these done yet. Right, I want to get those done before I set up more, and I don't have anybody to do more negotiations, so we'll just let time pass. I'm actually wondering if I'm making or simply hemorrhaging money right now. Whoa, what's going on? The Middle East War II has just broken out. Was it ever called that? War is wreaking havoc on Egypt. Sorry, UK, I know you set up all those expensive Cairo flights. Everybody wants to go to Milan right now. Oh god, UK are certainly not suffering. 24,000 passengers there. Oh no, UK is... ah, I think I understand now. The red is the expenses and the green is your earnings. In that case, what's the light red? Maybe those are one-off costs, and dark red are ongoing costs. I'll believe it. Air Mex are getting in on London now. UK Air is going here, there, and everywhere. Getting myself slapped in on easy mode here. I couldn't help but notice he had more than double my money as well. I love how they got Shikoku nicely fitted on the world map, but badly botched the whole of Turkey. I have a feeling I know where one of the same devs comes from. I mean, what is that shape of turkey there? Looks more like a turkey drumstick. Anything else horrifically botched here? I'm not so sure I'm sold on the shape of Southeast Asia in general. Where's Orkney and Shetlands? Right, we got our New Delhi slots. And Hong Kong. And come to Brazil. Well, I hope I got the space for all of this. Okay, first and foremost. Paris, we are going to not Africa. We're heading down to New Delhi in the Middle East. What type of plane? Press select to view the competition. There's a London to Tehran with 2 DC-6s. And they're offering their fare at 16% lower than standard. So it's actually going to be quite hard for me to... Well, no, that's for London people. Now, screw that. You gotta pay a premium to come to Paris. I got 4 of the... Well, these are just my wee short ones, aren't they? Nobody said I wanted to use these. But it appears to be the only one that's able to make that journey, so too bad. I guess I'll send 2 of them there. How many flights per week? This is probably using up my slots, isn't it? I don't know. Whatever, you're gonna only go in there once a week, and of course you have to pay the premium. As Shen, we are originating in Paris here, much like our Rise of Industry campaign. Okay, so from the Middle East... Oh, it's not a hub, is it? So I can't do a further one from here, can I? Right, but we can get ourselves a hub here. Which one was it? Was it this? Who will you send to negotiate? Lennon, get on it. Construction cost 9 million. I got 9 million. Make it happen. But it won't activate until next turn, so boo-hoo. Right, I'm also going to want to... Why not? We don't have any flights going there yet. Right, of course, we need that set up first. But I can't do a flight from the Middle East until I have that set up as a hub, so that's a bit of a bummer. But once it is set up, I'll be able to set up the rest of these, no problem. Oh hey, Baron, you know this game pretty well. I certainly don't. Right, gotta get ourselves over to Brazil. I assume you know the game pretty well, at least, Baron. I've seen you play it a fair bit. I wasn't paying attention, though. And maybe that's biting me in the arse right now. Oh, I can't even get there. Right, could I get there from my North American hub, then? Oh, well, I'm starting to have a bit of a problem now. The technology is just not there to make the journeys. Could you set up more hotels and the like? Well, I certainly could. I'm not sure to what degree that helps me, but we can do it anyway. Which one got us the hotels? This one looks like a building icon. Business possibilities. Glasses. You go and check out Paris, actually. Paris is a happening place. I could have my own pavilion. A city hotel, a grand hotel. Grand hotel's a lot more catering. You must negotiate with the city to purchase catering service. It'll take 3 months. Yeah, go on. And I might set up a lovely hotel over in the Delhi as well. Just glorified vacations for my diplomats. Right, I can get my own pavilion, a shuttle service, a travel agency, or a hotel. I can't get big grand things, maybe because of the lack of economy, so a crummy wee hotel for them will be fine, surely. Owning a hotel during the Olympics sounds like big dosh. Surely owning a hotel is big dosh, period. If business is slow, just, you know, sack all your workers and go into low maintenance mode. And when business is high, overcharge everybody to high hell. Sounds like free money. I wonder if I'll ever own a hotel someday. Toronto has been overcome by a blizzard. All flights have been cancelled. Well, certainly glad I went to Vancouver instead. Yeah, we're Tinner. And we've got the UK Air and Mex and Tex Air. Middle East shows no sign of ending, unfortunately. Oh, I forgot all about Milan, didn't I? Oof. Even the interregionals I'm getting slapped down by UK Air. Probably because they undercut me. I charge 10% over and they charge 15% under. The limey slime balls. That looks alright though, it actually looks like my green is eclipsing the red for once. Still don't know what the light red part means. Should have downloaded the manual for this one. Airmex has plenty of money. Even the Mexicans are twice my money. Yes, let us springboard. Light red is profits. Really? I thought that... Ah, of course, there's a comparison between outgoings and incomings, and the light red will be the amount of money you are making. And the UK Air is making tons of it. I assume you'll want to start a travel campaign network. Not my plan. Right, but now we have you set up. I hope that the distance from New Delhi to Oceania and Japan is not nearly as far as I don't want it to be. Right, let's go. Onwards to Tokyo. Yes! Get that DC... Oh, I have no DC-6s. But I do have L1049s. Get over there. And of course we overcharge. We always overcharge. I don't think there's enough space for Baron Air. Tinners took every letter available to T-I-N-N-E-R-S, 7 characters. Very Japanesey game, so you can put a lot in Japanese in 7 characters, far less of the Latin alphabet. Okay. That's all well and good, but we need to go and service those down under as well. Get over to Sydney. Oh my days, why? Why is Australia so far away? Okay, can you get there from... Ah, damn, no regional hub to start it from. Do I want you to be a regional hub? I do. So let's get that. Lennon, you're my top agent. Wait, that's a business venture, not a expansion venture. So, which one was it? This one? No, that's the boardroom. Still, it might be good to hear what my subordinates have to say, especially you, Lennon. Opening new routes. How about a route between Tokyo and Osaka? Or between New York and Chicago? They'd be good. You want to establish service between Paris and Africa, of course. I don't even go to Africa. Maybe that's what he's saying that I should be getting on. All of our flights are profitable, but shall we fine-tune... Oh, they're all profitable. Sweet. Fine-tune them. The route between Paris and New Delhi is running 670 in the... Whoa. That's what I like to hear. We're profitable right now. We shouldn't mess with success. Route between Paris and New York is running 8... Oh my days. So basically, I run fantastic business ventures. I just need to be running more of them. We could change over to a larger plane. I think we should raise the fare. Oh, raise the fare. I like what I hear. Flights between New Delhi and Tokyo have just started. I'm sure it'll carry lots of passengers. Route between Paris and Nice is running in the black. Shouldn't mess with success. Love that we're having this meeting over in Asia. They give you a lot of good information here telling you where things are over capacity and under capacity. And they're all telling me to raise the... Oh, Paris and Helsinki's making me suspiciously large amounts of money. We're profitable right now. We shouldn't mess with... No, we should charge more. Paris and Stockholm is in the black. Increase the planes? No, increase the cost. Wow, I'm really good at setting up profitable routes here. It's just that they could be more profitable. Okay, guys, I get the picture. All of them are doing really good. What about our plane holdings? Our company has 23 total aircraft, 15 in service. We should buy more. We need more. Holding planes in reserves makes it easier to open more routes or increase the number of flights. What about business ventures? Our company currently owns 3 business ventures. Our business ventures are not profitable. How can this be? Let's purchase the pleasure boat in Athens and conduct a leisure sports promotion. Yes, Lennon. I've heard everything I need to hear. Athens, we're getting ourselves a leisure boat. Did I miss a P there? Well, it was your idea, Lennon, so on you go. It is a pleasure boat. Okay, so this is exactly what we're playing an airline business game for, so we can get our pleasure cruise going. You must negotiate with the city for this pleasure. Well, 3 months of it, Lennon. Get to work. Don't worry, Pancho. It's not real communism. Okay, see, I like that. Unfortunately, the advice was to raise price on a lot of different places. At least that was the advice I was hearing. Paris to New Delhi, Paris to New York, Paris to Nice, Paris to Munich, Paris to Athens, Paris to Helsinki. So I want to find the ones that are 100% load and either add new planes to them. For example, this one I could give some new ones to it. But what I'm thinking is if it's so over capacity, then they should be paying me extra. Like, a lot extra. Is it okay to change it? Yes, it absolutely is. Alright, now I'm curious if they're going to just all abandon ship on that one or not. Bill can't get down there. Did I set up my regional part here? No, wrong one. Wrong one. Back out. There we go, just adjourn. As they say, under capitalism, man exploits man. Under communism, it's the other way around. Ah. Clever. Right, what was I doing here anyway? I want a regional hub, of course. Yeah, get it done in Tokyo. Then I can fly further on. Alright, no need to push the boat out. I want to see how my flight price adjustment did. Thanks, Middle East. Keeping it exciting. We always want something good on TV. Damn it. Oceania's booming and I can't reach there. I gotta say, UK Air really grabs all the passengers around Europe. Maybe I underestimated how good it is to do short hop flights. But, you know, proportionally, we're really rather profitable. I wonder how much of that is down to our slight price adjustment over the Helsinki route. Boeing's B707 had a successful maiden flight. Next year, right. Boeing, they probably do pretty long-distance planes. I want my hands all over those. London's really good, high pop and development. So was I just unlucky that the AI spawned there? Because the other AIs in Mexico and the US are doing pretty crap. Okay, Lenin seems quite chuffed himself. I'm sure he's had a very tiring 3 months in Athens to test drive the pleasure boat. We can expect more passengers on our flights to this city. Does that mean I could charge yet more for it? Let's have a bit of a tinkering, shall we? Paris to not Nice, not Munich, not Athens. Oh, okay. Jacking up the... Wait, Helsinki's still only 10% over. I thought Helsinki was the one that I made be about 40% over fare. No, this is the one. The one to Athens. Still reasonable load on it, though. But maybe, just maybe, they don't want to pay $600 to go to Greece. There we go. Set the price high and then offer them a discount. That's the way to do it. Boeing. Silly name. They'll never survive in this industry. Why is Boeing the first name that comes to mind when thinking of passenger aircrafts? At least it is for me. But again, I don't know so much when it comes to planes. This is pretty impressive stuff for the Super Nintendo, I gotta say. I have played a vast number of Super Nintendo games, but I wasn't expecting such a good management game to come out of it. Right, Brazil still eludes me. I could set up a shorter distance one there, but I think I'll wait for that maiden voyage to be done with the Boeing and then buy it up. They said next year, so I assume I have to let another quarter or two pass before we get on that. Boeing had bad press recently. I wouldn't have heard any of that, though. Right, I've got my regional hub here for one. Oh, damn, I forgot. Tokyo needs more spaces on it. Right, get on that, please. Lenin deserves a bit of a rest. He did a lot of work over there in Athens. Yeah, just get me every slot there is. One wonders why I ended up getting 3 slots over in Hong Kong, though. Surely I would only need one to go between there and... Oh, well, no, I could send multiple planes over there, couldn't I? Yes, I could, but damn these people. Maybe if I got myself something in Perth, that would be easier to go to. Right, I'll try that out. You're underworked. Get over there. Nine months. Maybe the reason you want to take fewer slots is because it takes less time. If you were to only take one slot... No, it still only takes 9 months. I do not understand why you would ever not take the maximum amount of slots. Maybe you don't get them for free if other people are competing on them? Maybe you pay for each slot? I don't know. I'm pretty sure slots do cost money, says Marvin. That would make the most sense. But... where do we even see that? No, this is budget. Also, why are my budgets so high? You post upkeep for slots. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But the information doesn't seem easy to grab. Okay, never mind. We'll press on. I wonder how long a full-fledged run of this takes. You need to get to number 1 in a bunch of different places. But you can probably snowball quite well. I certainly can't though. UK Air has got me in a stranglehold here. Thankfully, as we know from Rise of Industry, UK and France are one and the same. Check out that radio tower for details then. Taking more slots than you use can get you in hot water with the airport. I could not imagine many things more stressful than working in an airport. Everybody's always in a hurry, everyone's always angry, things are always late, and it's an even bigger problem if they're early. Not to mention all the security faffing. Wow, UK Air has lower expenses than I do, and huge profits. Air Mechs, on the other hand, are failing badly. Wonder if they're going to go bankrupt of their own accord. Fools. Well, at least number 2 is not too bad. Still the first loser, though. Have a look at the competition between Airbus and Boeing article on Wikipedia. It is great, in particular the sales plot showing how the competition has changed over the last decade. I don't know. Sounds like it would pack my head with more information at once. That looks alright. 80% load, paying 30% extra for my trips over to Athens. That's what I like to see. People having to overpay. Not many people want to go to Helsinki, though. I could cut down on the biscuit. Sounds like there's a lot of piddling about you could do with these to get the maximum out of each of your flights. And the fact that the AIs are proactive means that there's a fair bit of competition to push back. Oh, I don't like that, though. Why are people not wanting to go to New Delhi? Who wouldn't want to go to India from Paris? Thinking about it, the year is 1956, right? No, it's... oh, I didn't even notice the dates showing there in the bottom left. October 1957. I don't know of any big events happening in India, but I also... well, I wouldn't know. Still negotiating on that one. Certainly negotiating on that one. Looks like a lot of your routes could have more flights for the amount of planes on them. That's probably true. I don't know, it's hard to be invested in tweaking these sorts of things. One of the problems of playing a game like this in 2021 is that, good as it is pretty aged. For example, that one's got 2 of them flying at 42% load. So would we not benefit from only having 1 of them go, and then that one can double up on the load and cost me less? Hang on, did it actually go down? Oh, it shows the before one at the top. Gotcha. As a wee lad, I suspect I would have very much liked this game, Anon Finn. But I don't think this is a game that, as a family, we ever would have bought, because my brothers would not be interested in this at all. My mother certainly wouldn't, and my dad certainly wouldn't, so I don't think this was ever a game that was going to be exposed to childhood Jake. Instead I got Theme Park, which I loved, but in retrospect Theme Park is pretty awful. And that retrospect largely comes from playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which is so much better. I was reading a games review about Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which lambasted the game and said that Bullfrog's Theme Park has already mastered the genre, so there's no place for Roller Coaster Tycoon. Maybe it was just 1 instead of 2, but how wrong can you be? If you ever think that these days game journalists are god-awful, just look to the past and realise that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Wikipedia says there was a PC version of this, but only in Japanese. Ooh. That wouldn't be a problem, right? Had a wonderful moment where Japanese training had paid off, because I was wondering how the plot was going to go in the manga for Kaiji, so I was able to just read ahead. Pretty fun. Alright, so we are a profitable venture, and in fact, if UK Air wasn't as astoundingly good as they are, we would be the most profitable. Of course Roller Coaster Tycoon's superior, Jake. It's Scottish. Is it? I didn't actually know that it was made by a Scot. Then again, those things always tend to surprise you when you find out it's Scots behind it. Right, this is the Boeing that I've been waiting on. Can I get my hands on some of that? James, my competition has Boondollar. I'll deserve that can of dosh. Should be mine. Excuse me, but someone from Ilyushin would like to see you. Sounds Russian. I'm here today to offer you the deal of a lifetime. This quarter we're offering all of our planes... Ah, because you know there's better planes available. Nonsense, I'm not going to buy your scrap. I'm here to get myself that sweet new Boeing. Boeing? Where's Boeing established? Is that northern USA or is that southern Canada? Surely it's an American firm. Seattle, there we go. Which model are you interested in? Oh, that's not nearly as good as I thought. I imagined this new Boeing would be able to clear ridiculous distances, but no. No, you have let me down, Boeing. You're never going to make it in this industry. It would be pretty cool if you could alter events by, say investing heavily in Vickers planes allows Vickers to remain competitive later into the time frame, but I suspect that's not how it's going to go. That's the 747, Jake. What do you mean by that? I'm looking for for planes that can make much greater distances. Lockheed has some good looking planes. Let's see what Lockheed has. I thought I already checked them out though. Yeah, sadly they've still got that L10, which I already have. In fact, I have two of them sitting around just doing nothing for me. Jake buys so many Ilyushin planes that the capital inflows allow the Soviet Union to win the Cold War. What do they have for us anyway? Look at that, it's got pathetic range. But it is very cheap. In fact, playing this game seriously, you could probably make a killing buying up tons of those and running a lot of mid-ranged flights. Quite the option there. Wonder what else is available for us here. Right, Lennon, I was giving you a nice break here. I would like to know exactly what I'm getting out of these pleasure cruises and the hotels that we set up. It says it boosts the amount that we make, but what it's not what I'm... Oh no, the breakdown, of course. I wanted to look at the radio sign that apparently had breakdown. There we go. I thought this was marketing or something, but thinking about it, I clicked on it before and went, ooh, info. Right, info on flights? Odd way to do the scrolling here, but this is a great way to instantly check the load on them. Lots of people want to go to New York, so I could add more onto these. Or charge more. I tried making Aeroflot profitable, it wasn't successful. I mean Aeroflot. Alright, the New York runs and the Paris to New York runs are all running at full load. So I could add more planes or more flights each week. Both are probably good ideas. What are you telling me? I think this just tells me what everybody's up to. Ah, okay. So, Mascara Lady is down in Perth, trying to open that airport so I can finally fly to Aussie land. This is a summary of the planes that we have available. So I've got a couple of the L10s, so they could be used for those long journeys. The Viscounts for the shorter ones. Right. Here we go. There's the slot costs right there, but the slot costs are tiny. The slot costs only 360,000, and I have a lot of slots hanging around. Ah, the hub costs. So setting up international hubs, those are expensive, and they are ongoing expenses. Sounds like you only want to do those once you have exhausted your other options. But then again, getting them done sooner allows you to get other airline or other air routes set up faster. You don't actually have that many slots. It feels like I got quite a lot. Then again, London recently opened 22 or so new slots, so maybe it scales differently to what I thought. Reminds me of when I played Factorio and I thought, wow, I've got lots of power generation. No, I did not. And I definitely did not set aside the time or space that I needed for power generation. What else do we have here? Cultural facilities? Nah, forget culture. Oh, right, this is depending on where we're looking at. It tells us the number that we have of them. And the value of it, but... Here we go. Right, well that's just straight up profit right there. That's a heavy investment for something that makes me 5 million. So, seems like investing in my grand hotel pays off after... about 20 quarters. What about my crummy hotel in New Delhi? 0 profit, all expenses. What is this? Do people in India not want to pay for being in my lovely hotel? How can this be? Can you play this as a hotel sim instead? I suspect that you... Hold on. We'll go down that thought shortly. For now, what's this? Victory condition. Hub in every region. #1 for a year in Europe. #1 in 4 regions have a profit. So you can't just go full-on deficit to squeeze your way out to the top. Those are old-school airline hotels, Jake. I don't know what old-school entails in that sense. They're for transfers. Oh, so when you had to wait for a transfer because you're not going to get it same day. Ah. Oh, I can actually peek on everybody else. It's good to know I'm doing better than Air Tex, but UK Air and Air Mex are doing pretty fantastic. So how are you doing, UK Air? Well, me oh my. Their airline sales utterly dwarf their costs. Scary stuff. Right, somebody was asking if you could just play this game as a hotel conglomerate, and that makes me curious if I'd be able to set up businesses in places that I don't actually do anything in. So could I go to London, for example, and say, "Oi Gov, give us a grand hotel here"? Huh? Oh, it's already owned by UK Air. But what if I wanted to own a concert hall here? I suspect you're going to make a lot more money running airplanes, but maybe, just maybe, you'd be able to run the game like that somehow. Maybe there's a challenge run out there that is playing this game but not actually setting up your air routes. Okay. I'm actually wanting to see what that concert hall does for me. Yeah, that's the eye-opener on how many slots I truly have. 22 opened in Dallas there, telling us that going around and getting between 1 and 4 in places is not the scale that this game is about. You can't win though, you need the rankings. That's true. I don't think there's company buyouts in this, is there? But you could probably undercharge to rob your competitors of their passengers and bleed them out that way. Lovely and cruel. Yeah, UK Air's got this one in the bag. But it's good to know that I'm doing better than the other two, so I can feel pretty confident in second place here. Yeah, you're right, Mort. To get ahead, you need to scale up hard here. I'm curious about this concert hall. What's it going to do? Expect more passengers to our flight. Well, that's not good. That's probably only going to benefit the UK. Jeng's manual to help out big time here. Right, I think I'm going to call it there because I've seen what this game has to offer, and the game is very good. Unfortunately, it seems like the kind of game that you kind of need the nostalgia for, because the kind of experiences this game offers is stuff that more modern games, in my view, do better. Largely because it's very chunky to get anything done. You want to go and negotiate down in Oceania, for example. It's go here, and then go to here, and then agonizingly go over, and over, and over, and over, and get in on that. So, this is a game I kinda wish that young Jake had about 30 years ago. Was this out 30 years ago? Maybe more like 26 or 27. Although a little bit of me does want to see what this is like on the PC. Nonetheless, I'm going to call it there, largely because even if we were to play it for another 20-30 minutes, it's going to end at that point anyway, so scaling up wouldn't have much in the way of payoff there, sadly. But I'm still pretty impressed with what I see in this game. I just don't think it's going to make a glorious return. I'd like to see somebody who knows this game really well play through it and show off how it's done, so to speak. That I'd like to see, but do perhaps less so, because it's a chunky game to chew through. A far less chunky game is going to be coming up. It's time to slip into some Rise of Industry, but I want to take a short break before that, so I will take the stream down and bring it back in about 15 minutes, and we will get towards making the Christmas tinners, but only for Europe. That stuff's not getting shipped out further afield. So a brief cheers and cheerio until we're back with that.